passing the baton, trusting the next generation in ministry. And now, the moment we've been waiting for, live in our studio. Some call him the man of controversy. Some call him the voice of the weak. Let's put our hands together for the one and only, your host, Champagne Ministries. Thank you. I am your host, Champagne Ministries. We have a great show today. All right, let's go right through to it. Why is the church so scared to let young people lead? We say we want revival, we say we want growth, but when it's time to hand over the mic, the budget, the vision, suddenly they're not ready. Today, we're going there. No filters, no churchy language, just 4 voices, 4 perspectives, and one real question. What happens when we actually let young people run things in church? Is it chaos? Is it freedom? Is it disrespectful to tradition, or is it the only way forward? We've got elders who've seen it all, young leaders who've been shut down, pastors caught in the middle, and youth who are tired of waiting. This isn't a cute conversation. It's raw. It's uncomfortable. It's overdue. Let's talk about the fear, the freedom, and the fallout. Welcome to Passing the Baton. Meet Elder James. Meet Brother Hakeem and Pastor Tim. Thank you for being here. Let's start with the real issue. Why are older church leaders afraid to let young people lead? Is it pride? Is it fear of losing control? Or is it just straight up distrust? I've seen churches where the youth ministry is treated like a daycare. They're allowed to sing, maybe dance, but don't touch the pulpit, don't touch the budget, and definitely don't challenge tradition. So let's talk about it. Elder James, you've been in ministry for decades. What's the real reason older folks hesitate to pass the baton?
It's not just fear, it's protection. We've seen what happens when things go off track. We're trying to guard the church from error, from immaturity. You don't just hand over leadership to someone who's still figuring out life.
But how are we supposed to grow if we're never trusted? You say we're immature, but you never give us space to mature. You want us to be ready, but ready for what? A system that doesn't even see us?
I've mentored young leaders who are more passionate and prepared than some seasoned ministers. The problem isn't readiness, it's control. We don't want to lose the old ways, but we're choking out the new ones.
So is this about protecting the church or protecting power? Let's be honest. Some leaders don't want to let go because they've built their identity around being in charge. And when young people come with fresh ideas, it feels like a threat. Now let's flip it. What happens when we actually give young people freedom in church? I'm talking real freedom, not just letting them do a youth night once a month. I mean letting them lead, create, restructure, even challenge the way things have always been done. Some churches treat innovation like rebellion. If it doesn't look like 1,995, it's labeled worldly. But let's be real. Young people are reaching souls online, building communities on Discord, preaching on TikTok, and creating worship experiences that actually speak to their generation. Brother Hakeem, you've been told wait your turn more times than you can count. What happened when you finally got a chance to lead?
I stopped asking for permission and just started doing it. I launched a Bible study on Instagram Live. We had 300 people show up in the first week. No flyers, no church budget, just hunger. And guess what? The church didn't support it. They called it unstructured, but it changed lives.
That's the tension. Young people are doing ministry outside the walls, because inside the walls, they're suffocating. We say we want revival, but we don't want to let go of the reins. Innovation feels dangerous to people who are addicted to control.
I hear you, but freedom without guidance can lead to confusion. We've seen movements that started strong but ended in chaos because there was no accountability. You need structure. You need covering.
True, but structure without trust is just a cage. We can't keep asking young people to be creative, then punishing them when their creativity doesn't fit our mold. So the question is, can we create a space where innovation and wisdom walk together? Or are we just going to keep losing this generation to the streets, to influencers, to platforms that actually let them speak? All right, we've talked about the fear. We've talked about the freedom. Now let's talk about the fallout. Because yes, giving young people full control can go wrong. We've seen ministries crash. We've seen pride take over. We've seen people get hurt. But we've also seen what happens when you don't give them a chance. They leave. They disconnect. They stop caring. So, let's be real. There's risk on both sides. Pastor Tim, what's one moment where giving a young person leadership backfired?
We had a young guy lead a worship night. He was gifted, but he wasn't grounded. He started preaching stuff that wasn't biblical, just vibes and emotion. It got messy. People were confused. We had to step in and clean it up. That's the risk.
But that's part of the process. You don't learn leadership by watching, you learn by doing. Mistakes are part of growth. If the church isn't a place where we can fail and be restored, then what are we even doing?
I agree with that to a point. But leadership isn't just about passion, it's about responsibility. You can't hand over the keys to someone who hasn't been trained. That's not mentorship. That's negligence.
So what's the balance? Do we wait until they're perfect, or do we walk with them through the mess? Because here's the truth. The church is losing its future trying to protect its past. We're so afraid of damage that we're causing damage. We're so focused on preserving legacy that we're killing momentum. And maybe the real question isn't, are they ready? Maybe it's, are we willing to let go? If you could say one thing to church leaders about trusting young people, what would it be? Elder James?
Don't just hand them the mic. Walk with them. Guide them. But don't silence them.
How about you, Pastor Tim?
If you don't make room for them, they'll build their own room and you won't be invited. We're not trying to destroy the church. We're trying to revive it. Let us.
Brother Hakeem.
Give us a chance. Walk with us. Pray for us. Use love and patience, because without the youth, there's no future.
This conversation isn't over. It's just a beginning. If you're a church leader listening, ask yourself, are you building a legacy or are you blocking one? This has been Passing the Baton. Let's keep the fire going. Thanks to our guests for keeping it real and to you for listening. Visit ChampagneMinistries.com and stay tuned for the next episode of Champagne Ministries podcast, Real Talk for Real Life. Be blessed.